What's up guys, Zami here and you're watching Heavy Metal Pomp. Today I've got another pomade review for you. We're going to be looking at one of the more recent releases from Ziggy Supply. For today we're going to be looking at Ziggy Supply's Imperium. Now this is an all-base pomade with a heavy hold, and of course I want to thank Martin and John for sending me this. Thanks guys. And without further ado, we're going to take a closer look at the jar right now. And here we have Ziggy Supply's Imperium. Comes in a 3.5 ounce plastic jar. Has the product name on the lid in this red and black metallic label, and it just looks freaking awesome. Even has a really subtle lion graphic in the back. On the side you get the product name once again in the same red and black label. You get ingredients on one side and some information on the other side as well. The overall presentation just looks badass, and I really like the metallic label that they chose. And if you open it up, you get this blue pomade inside. The scent is their own take of a barbershop scent, and it smells so damn good. It's a minty smell with a slight powderiness to it. It's fresh, clean, and just really good. It's a scent that's present but stays out of the way for the most part, so you're not really going to notice it throughout the day. Scooping it out, even though it's a heavy all-base pomade, comes out with fair ease. Has a firm but pliable scoop to it, and it is just really nice. Breaking it down, really smooth. Has a slight waxiness to it, but like I said, for a heavy, it's really not that difficult. Applying it to the hair, there's gonna be some slight tugging and pulling, but it's really not that bad. It starts to feel more waxy than slick once it's in the hair, but it's honestly not as grippy as what you would normally expect. The scent definitely has some presence, but fades away pretty quickly within the first couple of hours. And the shine, I'd say it's of a lowish to almost medium shine. Just looking it back, goes through pretty easily. Definitely has some resistance to it, but it's not really tugging or pulling that terribly. It's not the slickest pomade for sure, but definitely has a pretty decent amount of slickness either way. Gonna style my hair now. Talk to you again in a bit. And I think I'm pretty much just gonna call that done. So as you can tell, I'm getting some pretty good height. My sides are holding down nicely. This pomade has just enough slickness to keep everything together. Still getting that lowish to almost medium shine, and the scent is subtle. So anyways, let's talk more about Imperium. When Ziggy officially announced this, I was way beyond excited for it because I've been wanting them to do an all-base pomade for the longest time. And after using it for a couple of times, I think it's a really good all-base pomade. First of all, the application is just really easy for a heavy hold all-base pomade. Scoops out and breaks down like nothing, and applies with very minimal resistance. I think it styles really nicely as well. It has a light weight to it, so you can really get some good height. Has a pretty good amount of slickness as well. It's not overly greasy, but just slick enough to keep everything nicely together. Now the hold I wouldn't really consider to be a heavy. I think it's a firm at best for me. And for me, the weakest point about this pomade is the endurance. Because of that lightweight quality, it falls out of place a little bit too easy for me. If you typically style a low-key hairstyle, it's gonna hold up just fine. But if you're like me, you like to get a lot of height, you might run into some problems. Now I found that there is a way to get around the endurance issue, and that is to use it on next day buildup. If you use this on second day buildup, it's gonna provide a bit more density and stability, which will give the endurance a little boost. And while we're on the subject of the build-up, it's gonna take about 3 to 4 showers with shampoo to fully cleanse your hair. The build-up you get can be a little bit intense even for me, but it's gonna be clean, waxy, and will provide a nice foundation for next day styling. So anyways, final verdict on Ziggy Supply's Imperium. I give it a 4 out of 5. I think it's definitely a good addition to the Ziggy Supply lineup. It has some user-friendly qualities, and even though the hold and endurance can be a bit lacking, it can easily be rectified by using it on consecutive days. If you're looking for a good all-base pomade that doesn't feel overly greasy, it goes without saying, you should definitely check this one out. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Hope you liked the review. Do leave a comment down below. Subscribe to my channel right here. Or you can check out my last video right here. I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.